Can you see my cup? It says, go ask your dad. Mom's drinking coffee. I just realized that's the cup I'm using today. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to freeze cilantro so that you can have cilantro all year round. Yes, you can freeze cilantro, and I've done it for years, okay? I do grow cilantro here, but the rain in Oklahoma right now, it has just beat up my cilantro. The rain in Oklahoma, it's raining again in Oklahoma today. This fun hair, it just doesn't matter if it's raining or snowing, whatever. Anyway, it just does whatever it wants to. But that's besides the point. Anyway, you can freeze cilantro. You can have it all year round. You don't have to go buy it at the store every time you want some, okay? So anyway, I'm going to show you how to do that today. But first, I'd like to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And thank you for following me and watching me and having fun with me. I'm having fun with this. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so one more thing before we get started. I was told politely, of course, that I don't show my face enough on camera in my videos, so I will try harder at that. And so here you go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of give, I bought these at the grocery store. Let me start with that. I do grow cilantro. That rain really beat it up, but anyway, I bought this to kind of for video purposes to show you how I do freeze this. I will eat this, but yeah, it's made in the U.S., but man, there's no telling how many chemicals are in it. I don't know. I like to eat organic. I'm just going to cut like about this much off because I do like the stems in my salsas and eggs and whatever. I just mix it in there too, but so I'm going to cut those off first, the big pieces. Just the ends. Sometimes they tend to be a little tough. They get really thick. You see what I'm doing here. Next thing I'm going to do is spray on some of my vinegar solution that I have. I keep it in just a regular spray bottle here. An old one that I've had, I rinsed it out. It was a bleach cleaner, but I put vinegar, water, and a tad of Dawn dish soap. Now, I'm not a germaphobe by any means, but when you see your produce worker picking his nose or something, you know, you'll change your ways pretty quick. I mean, these aren't covered up. They just sit, you know, with a twist tie and just sit up on the shelf like that. Honey, I'm washing my stuff, okay? I mean, I wash them with vinegar and this soapy water and let it sit there for just a minute. I try to get all of it covered as I can on the inside and everything. Kind of just rub it together. And then I'm going to give it a good rinse. I probably should already have my towel sitting out here. I'm going to go ahead and set this down in here. I've got a paper towel down at the bottom of my sink, and I'm going to spray that while I'm doing this other business here. So I can just pick it up and rinse it off. Turn it off for a second. And let's just whip out a towel here to lay these flat to dry a little bit, because you don't want them sopping wet when you freeze them. Okay, you are going to want them a little bit damp, but just not soaking wet, you know, where the ice crystals freeze up on it. So let's get these rinsed off, get that soap rinsed off, and the vinegar. I do this with all my vegetables, you guys, from the store. Sure do. Not from anywhere. I don't care if it's from farmer's market or whatever. I don't know where their hands have been, and it grosses me out a little bit. I promise I'm not a germaphobe. So I did spray these down. I mean, you know, vegetables, or if there's vegetables or fruits or something that I'm going to pressure can, I don't worry so much about it because that'll kill any kind of germ in there possible. Okay, so there's that, and I am just spreading them apart on this towel to dry. Turn that off again. Just kind of spreading these out on the towel. See, there's one of those stems. They get pretty thick. If you can see that, they do get pretty thick, and they tend to get tough. You bite into one, and it's like biting into a toothpick or something. So I'll pick a few more of those off. They're pretty thick. Just kind of pick through. And you know, some people just pick the leaves off and use those. I use the whole thing. I get a big butcher knife and just get after it and do like a rough chop on all of it. But anyway, you can do it however you want to. This is just how I do it. And I just wanted to show you how I get it cleaned up first. My cilantro has been drying on the towel for probably about an hour. And I wanted to show you here, I just get a regular Ziploc freezer bag is what I've used this time. It says 2021 cilantro on the bottom. Just so if there's any question. I do probably have some parsley in there too, so we'll write cilantro. Anyway, I've left some of the stems on here like this. I've cut a whole bunch off. And my chickens are going to be so happy, happy, happy. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of give it a rough chop, and it just kind of depends on how, if you like big chunks in your food, and I do. I like it, you know, well, I just cut it to like medium size, I would say. I don't chop it like finely chop. Rough chop, I guess is what we call it. So this is not soaking wet, and it's not completely dry. And that way, you won't have like ice crystals, you know, formed on it, like chunks of ice or anything. So I don't know if you can see the shininess on it, of that, how it's a little bit wet. But anyway, I'll tell you, I just start throwing it in here. Okay. And on to the next. Another rough chop. And this is so nice to have in your freezer year round. No joke. I like to have just everything on hand. I'm going to pull a couple of those off while I've got them out here, the bigger ones. Anyway, it's just so nice to be prepared, isn't it? You know, for anything. We live kind of far out, and it's not just like you can jump in the car, take a road trip 5 minutes away to the grocery store, you know, or whatever. It's about an hour, I'd say, round trip. So nice to have these things on hand. Thank God we have refrigerators and freezers. We definitely have, you know, excellent modern conveniences this day and age. So that's probably enough on that one. I won't go on to the rest of it. I've got more to cut here, but I'm just going to kind of show you what I do here. You know, you just pretty much flatten it out, kind of like you do when you do your beef, to make more room and so that it will defrost a little quicker. You do the same thing with your cilantro here. You get as much air out as you can, flatten it out, and then seal it up and just store it in your freezer like that. You want this to be just a little bit wet. If it's too dry, then by gosh, get you some water and just, you know, kind of sprinkle it on there a little bit, because you want it to be a little bit moist. When I take it out, it will be frozen. It won't just be loose. It'll be a little frozen. You just kind of like, you know, just snap it off and then put it in whatever dish that you're, you know, going to use it in. So you just continue to do that, you know, seal it up, like I said, and lay it flat. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to mine, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I just kind of going to put it on my hand like this here, so I can get this bag open. Just kind of splash it in like this, just a little bit, kind of put my hand in here and move it around a little bit. Okay, so it's just a little bit damp. I want it to be damp. Okay, like that. Not to where it has big chunks of icy crystals, but that when you open it up, it'll break off. Okay. Okay, so this is some that I've already had in the freezer, and I'm going to show you kind of how it breaks off. I'm going to make a little bit of guacamole here for lunch. Anyway, I don't know if you can see in there. See, it just kind of breaks off. Just kind of breaks off. Okay. Let's put this in here and break it all up. It'll defrost or whatever you call it when it's in here. Defrost? Whatever. It won't be frozen solid when you take bites of your guacamole. There we go. We'll add a little bit of tomatoes and might just add some salsa to it. So, but that's how it looks, okay? That's how it's gonna look. I hope this freezing cilantro video was helpful to you. If it was, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button, I sure would appreciate it. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I also wanted to say that I know that there are other ways to preserve your cilantro. I've tried to dehydrate it and it just didn't have a whole lot of flavor to it. You can also just cut the bottom of the stems like you would roses and put them in a cup of water. Put them in your fridge and that will keep them fresh probably up to a week or so. This is kind of my long-term method here of preserving cilantro. So I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Nope. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome, welcome. If you like cilantro like I do all year round, then this is a video for you to watch today.